Friedman's remarks are based on the recent media impressions of how Anna Hazare has really captured the imagination of the masses, and how he has been able to concentrate on one single agenda of anti-corruption, giving the movement a sense of purpose and a sense of direction. However, the way some of the information that is emerging either by the friends or foes directly links to the movement with some foreign connections. That is the most worrisome for the Indian nationals. There is no doubt that personally Anna Hazare has been a very straightforward, very dedicated, very honest person who has dedicated all his life to one single agenda of anti-corruption, mostly centered on the Maharashtra state government's ruled by practically all parties against whom he has been agitating, and invariably his stand was vindictive, and he was successful in getting the ministers to resign on the mere suggestion of corruption, and that is had been his one of the most stellar achievement throughout his career. The group that took him from Maharashtra's small village of Ralegaon Siddhi to national stage and to New Delhi is supposed to be rather very reform minded, but the way they were able to mobilize the masses as well as the media coverage 24/7 has been rather enigmatic to most of the people in public life. At least two, Kejriwal and Kiran Bedi, are known to be associated with Magsaysay Awards of Philippines, which have direct connections with either, I'm not sure whether Rockefeller or Ford Foundations of America, who had been, investing in these areas to push up leadership in the right direction. Now, if this is the new leadership that is coming forth, one has to raise questions as to how much the Americans are involved in the whole movement and where they want this movement to end. Now, if this is the same movement that is being funded, or rather behind the scene promoted, sponsored, encouraged by money bags from the Wall Street like Rockefellers and others, how much trust Indians could repose in such movements when their strings are being manipulated by foreigners? Now, naturally, Thomas Friedman will at this stage either knowingly or unknowingly will not discuss the finer details of how this movement is being sponsored, possibly by the US interests. But if the money bags in America are into this game of starting movements, they also should be savvy enough to see that any movement that threatens their interests in state, United States itself, can be manipulated to disperse, and that will impact the recent movement of Occupy Wall Street. So there has to be some comparative uh, discussion of how Anna Hazare's movement and the Occupy Wall Street, though look similar, were still being in origin coming from a very different uh, stakeholders.